Hi loves, Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today we're going to look at a little bit of breath work. I fancy doing a little bit of breath work today, so hopefully that's the same for you as well. And the breath work we're going to look at is the 3-part breath. If you've practiced with me before, be it in person or online, this is a breath work I try to kind of sneak in nearly everywhere because I think it's one of the most accessible breath works we can come to. And it really encourages to take those deeper, nourishing breaths. So we're going to look at it a little bit more closely today. And so when you're ready, you don't really need anything else for this practice. Maybe just a little bit of space. You don't have to come down onto a mat. You could even do this lying down in bed. That's totally cool too. So wherever you are, as always, is exactly where you need to be. So find that kind of cozy spot without or with as little distraction as possible, that we can take some time just to tune into that steady breath. Okay. So when we're ready, let's just nestle those sit bones down into the ground. And let's first of all start with the palms of the hands to the knees, and let's slide those shoulders down and away from those ears. And in our own time, starting to close off the eyes and close off the outside world. And so as we always do, taking a few moments just to settle in, landing into our practice. And this is the case no matter what practice we take, whether it's a yoga practice, whether it's a meditation, or whether it's breath work. We take the time to land, to see how we feel, and just take it all in. Notice all those little sensations that might be softly moving throughout the body. And just seeing how it feels to land here for a few moments. And we might come across certain things. We might notice maybe achiness or tension in the body. Maybe there's a little bit of unsteadiness within the mind. And as always, whatever we notice here, just letting it be as it is. So there's no need to change anything about yourselves. There's no need to wish we were feeling a certain way, but just be exactly as you are and really let that be enough today. Beautiful. And perhaps to help us find that little bit more steadiness here, let's slowly come to the breath. Just see how it feels to breathe first of all. So we're not going to shape the breath just yet. Just take those steady inhales in through the nose. And you're welcome to maybe have a sigh out through the mouth. Beautiful. And with that breath out, just noticing how the body softens just that little bit more here. Beautiful. Lovely. And just keep slowly bringing yourselves to this place. Coming back to that breath. And even if the mind wanders off here, just trust that it will make its way back here. Somehow, some way, it will make its way back to the breath. Beautiful. And just slowly start to bring our awareness to the 3-part breath. And the way in which we're going to practice this is actually placing the hands on certain places of the body. So it might feel nice to have one hand to your heart space and one hand to your belly. And as always, it doesn't matter which way round you go. Just go instinctively and place the hands to whatever feels nice for you. You might notice the warmth of your hands kind of seeping through your clothing, warming yourselves up a little bit here. You might even feel that sense of comfort from that self-touch maybe. And already as you place the hands upon the body, you might notice this subtle little movement, this ever so gentle rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Beautiful. And perhaps it's hinted so slightly with it being called the 3-part breath, is that we're going to divide this pranayama practice, this breathwork practice, into 3 parts. So our first part of this breath is as we take every inhale, just sending it to your lower belly. So the hand that's at the bottom here, send it right down to your lower belly as low as you can, almost to the very pit of your belly. And again, take in that deep breath in, send it right down. And as you exhale, just let that breath naturally escape back out. Beautiful. Notice whether it feels like a challenge for you to send the breath low down, or maybe it feels relatively at ease for you. Beautiful. Every day is different. So as you inhale, keep focusing on sending that breath deep down to the lower belly. And exhale, letting it naturally escape back out. Beautiful. Staying with that just for a few moments. Let's just stay with this first part here. Feeling that bottom hand rise and fall with every breath you take. One more round maybe. Beautiful. And we're going to gradually add in this second part. And what that entails is actually dividing the inhale into 2 equal parts here. And so that first sip of breath you take in is again going to travel down to the lower belly. And then before you exhale, take that second sip of breath in and send that breath a little bit higher, more towards your rib cage. So maybe the space in between the palms of the hands maybe. And again, it might feel a little bit challenging at first, but it's amazing what we can do with our mind's eye. So again, take that first sip in, send it to the lower belly. Second sip, it rises up that little bit higher to the rib cage. And then exhale, let it all go. Beautiful. And you might even notice that little pause you take in between the inhales there. That little retention of breath maybe, and that's going to help to strengthen our lungs a little bit as this practice becomes a little bit more familiar maybe. So again, stay with those 2 equal parts. And again, if you find that you're running out of breath as it comes to that second sip of breath in, maybe shorten that first sip ever so slightly so we have a little bit more way to go as it comes to that second sip. Beautiful. So again, first sip down to the lower belly. Second sip rises up that little bit higher to the rib cage. Exhale, let it go. Let's maybe take this twice more together. Inhale to the lower belly. Second sip, rib cage. Exhale, let it go. One more time. First sip, lower belly. Second sip, rib cage. Exhale, let it go. Really well done. And then adding in this third and final part to our 3-part breath. So we're going to divide that inhale even further now to 3 equal parts. So again, that first sip of breath goes down to the lower belly. Second sip, a little bit higher up to the rib cage. And that third sip of breath in, sending it right to the chest, where this top hand resides here. So you're dragging out that inhale a little bit longer. And again, as you exhale, just that soft, steady release. So let's see how this goes for a couple rounds. Breath in, lower belly. Second sip, rib cage. Third sip, chest. Exhale, let it go. And once you've found that pattern, again, feel free to go at your own pace. You might minimize that retention of breath in between the inhales if you wish, and that's absolutely fine to do so. So in your own time, settle into that 3-part breath and maybe allow yourselves just to drift with it if we can. And as that breath work continues to get a little bit more familiar to you, maybe it almost feels like this wave traveling up and down the length of your spine. So as you breathe in and that breath slowly travels up to the chest, you might feel like you can grow a little bit taller here. And then again, exhaling, everything softens. Let's just take 3 more rounds here. Two more. One final time. Really Really well done. After that final breath out, you're more than welcome to let the hands slowly return back to the knees. And if you want to stay with that 3-part breath for a little while longer, you're more than welcome to. Take your time. But maybe now just allowing the breath to slowly return back to that natural steady pace. But again, see how it feels to breathe here and now. Maybe notice how we feel overall. Maybe we feel just that little bit more grounded. Perhaps even a little bit more at peace here, a little bit more steady. And just see how it feels to take those nourishing breaths in. And remember, whenever we're in doubt or feeling that little bit lost or confused, or we need that little bit more guidance, come to the breath and let the breath show you the way. Beautiful. Let's gently bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart space. Maybe let's rub the palms of the hands together a couple of times, building up that little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. And then when we're ready, placing the palms of the hands over the eyes, slowly blinking in that heat, that warmth, warming up the eye sockets, the muscle of the face. And then gently separating the fingertips, let a little bit of light filter back through. Beautiful. And then maybe we let the hands fall away from the face. Hands might land to the heart space just for a moment here. And maybe we just take a little bow to ourselves, sealing our little breathwork practice. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you can rise all the way up. Super. Thank you so much for joining me for that 3-part breath. If you've never practiced that before, I hope it was accessible to you, and I hope you found that pattern after some time. And these things can sometimes take a little bit of time to really sink into. So if you feel like that was too short, maybe go back, try again, and again, find it in your own pace, your own time. But again, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of breath work, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're going to have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. All right, lots of love. Mwah. Bye. Hey Yogi, thank you so much for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed your practice. Just thought I'd sneak in at the end here and say, if you are wanting to practice a little bit more, if you perhaps want to dive a little bit deeper into the beautiful world of yoga, then the great news is that I'm offering one-to-ones online. So you can join me from the comfort of your home, me from mine, and we can get together either live online, or I'll pre-record some classes just for you. And the beauty of those practices is that they are tailored to what you desire. So if you're just wanting to learn a little bit more about yoga, if you're a beginner and you're not quite sure what's what and you want to get a deeper understanding of anatomy or how the body kind of moves around on the mat, or maybe you're just wanting to try slightly different practices, if you're wanting to try yin yoga, for example. Or maybe we're kind of building up the confidence to maybe return to the studio in person and we're not quite got that confidence just yet. So if any of those speak to you, or maybe it's something else entirely, do feel free to reach out to me. You can either check me out on Instagram, send me a message over there, or just send me an email, and I would love to practice with you. Whatever it is, I'd love to tailor the practice to suit you, suit your individual needs, and we can go on this little journey together. So as I say, all the details are below if you want to have a chat, and I hope to hear from you very soon. All right, lots of love. Mwah.